We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live.
Wow. Infamous Mexican boxer Antonio Margarito dares Canelo to fight against David Benavidez, not Bivol. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. 2022, let's have a great year. We just getting started. The year is still young. Still not too late for you to subscribe to the channel. My name is Ego. I've been covering boxing double-digit years. Let's get it. Now, I want to talk about this. We unpack, coming to you live. Canelo Alvarez, he made his decision, and that's Dimitri Bivol. I've made several pieces of content and videos, and I've expressed my opinion on the Bivol fight. You know, Bivol's a solid fighter. I think the timing is the biggest thing, and I just feel that Canelo, since he beat Caleb Plant at 168, there were bigger fights that would be bigger events that would give more spotlight to the world of boxing. And a lot of people, they don't want to tap in or touch down on some of the concepts that I'm talking about. But like Bone Crusher said, I ain't never scared. You know, I'm like Bernie Mac of this boxing stuff. I ain't scared of you. You know, I talk about what you talk about behind closed doors, and I do it in public on the channel. So Canelo Alvarez versus Bivol. A lot of, let's say, heat, a lot of questions about how the fight will do, if the fight will get canceled, based on everything that's going on in the world. And I've already made videos about that. But there is an infamous Mexican fighter, boxer, out of Mexico. You know, he comes from Mexico just like Canelo Alvarez. And let's get into what Antonio Margarito had to say. There's an interview, link in the description, and I will read a direct quote from the interview and how it was translated. It says, Bivol isn't ready to take this kind of fight. So right off rip, Antonio Margarito doesn't think that Bivol, you know, stands enough of a chance to try to dethrone or beat Canelo Alvarez, right? Bivol isn't ready for this kind of fight. Canelo's gonna go through Bivol and then fight Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. Who wants to see that again? Says Antonio Margarito. Oh my God. Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. He said he's going to fight Bivol and then fight Triple G. Who wants to see that again? Talk to him, Antonio. He says, I think Canelo, he should take a look at David Benavidez because David Benavidez wants to fight him. Benavidez is a great fight, and that's who the fans want to see. So if Canelo wants to prove himself to the fans, then Canelo, he'll give the fight with Benavidez. I think David Benavidez deserves the opportunity, and Canelo should give him the opportunity. Hey, give the fight fans what they want to see, and Benavidez can prove that he can fight Canelo and it is competitive. So the boy Antonio Margarito is saying, give the boy David Benavidez a chance. And ironically enough, Canelo was offered a lucrative, much more money, and I do mean much more, and I'll explain that in a second, offer to fight on a platform that already has facilitated pay-per-view. He wouldn't have to worry about the current conundrum and world crisis we're in with Russia invading Ukraine, and he's fighting a Russian fighter, and he's fighting on an app with a Russian billionaire as the front man for the money, Len Blavnik. You know, so these are the kind of things that are taking place either in front of the cameras or behind the scenes with DAZN. So he wouldn't have to worry about anything of that sort if he fought Jermall Charlo and David Benavidez, who Antonio Margarito is also suggesting would be a great fight for Canelo. Now, I tell you guys all the time on my channel, I don't just talk just to be talking. When I talk, it gotta mean something. If you listen to Antonio Margarito, he sounds like he's really pushing for the fight, and he made it abundantly clear that he thinks the Benavidez fight is a competitive fight and Benavidez is owed an opportunity. The funny thing is this: if you listen to Canelo Alvarez himself in multiple interviews, and you listen to the Canelo man fans, the Chupapi Muñeño, Canelo Cinnabon tribe of fans that have blind loyalty, they're actually saying the opposite of what myself, Boxingego, and Antonio Margarito are saying, among others. You know, I'm just kind of focused. I'll get to some of the other stuff later in this video if I have time. But and that's like, hey, give David Benavidez a shot. He's saying specifically, you know, and he's not mincing his words, that's a great fight. He thinks it's competitive, and that's a fight the fans want to see. And he says, I think he deserves it, and Canelo should give him the opportunity. Wow. Ironically enough, Canelo and his fans apparently don't see this as the case, and they're saying the opposite. Charlo and David Benavidez, they need to do something more. They got to go fight some kind of tournament that Canelo has mandated to earn a spot with Canelo. But Canelo's own countryman just told you, I don't think Bivol has a shot. I don't think Bivol is ready for this type of fight. But the fight I want to see is David Benavidez. Now, Ego Stradamus strikes again. And this is getting too easy for me. I'm looking for more challenges. So if you guys know of some more challenges in the boxing game, let me know, because this is easy work. So you got to ask yourself some serious questions. A lot of the deflectors and detractors come to my channel. They leave comments. Some people support, you know, some people are saying, oh no, you're this and that. And you know, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, that makes two of us, because literally Ego Stradamus strikes again. Antonio Margarito almost verbatim is telling you the same exact thing that I've said on my channel, and I have the videos to prove it. That's the amazing thing about YouTube as a platform. YouTube as a platform, brilliant. It's brilliant stuff, because it's like the story of Hansel and Gretel, and they left breadcrumbs. Everything, every piece of my work, every literature is documented. Everything that I do on this platform has been documented. So you could go back, look at old videos, and see that I said exactly what Antonio Margarito and many others have said in the boxing industry. But as far as my field, boxing commentary, you know, being a voice in boxing, a popular channel, you know, having some clout in that regard, I'm always the first to talk about these issues. And you start to see the literally people in the industry, former fighters, current fighters, champions, trainers, and more people as they get interviewed start corroborating everything I've said. So let Canelo and his fans tell it. David Benavidez sucks, and David Benavidez isn't ready, and David Benavidez doesn't deserve a shot, and he needs to fight Charlo to prove himself. Why is Canelo's own countryman, somebody who's from Mexico and a fighter, former fighter, once a fighter, always a fighter. So why is his own countryman saying that a fellow compatriot, Canelo Alvarez, needs to fight a Mexican-American Ecuadorian fighter, just like I've said? So like I said, the walls are closing in for Mr. Canelo Alvarez. The whole world can see it. It's funny that Canelo, they keep moving the goalpost. A couple years ago, and I got many videos coming, so just stick around. years ago in 2019, DAZN wanted Canelo to fight Triple G. At that point, the fight was more sellable because he hadn't quite fought Sergey Derevyanchenko, who I thought Triple G had no guys, had Max's punches, everybody's punches, nothing. Right? He hadn't quite lost. I thought he lost the Derevyanchenko fight, right? So Triple G was on board. The DAZN network was, and I'm going to prove this on my channel, so make sure you subscribe. The videos will be out soon. But anywho, the DAZN wanted the fight at the time. Golden Boy said they were down for the fight. Canelo's promoter at that time was Golden Boy. And then also Triple G side wanted the fight at the time. Guess who said they didn't want the fight? Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, and I could pull all this stuff up. Canelo says, why on earth should I fight Triple G again when Triple G, he has nothing to offer me? A fight with Triple G is basically meaningless. I don't get anything. There's no benefit. And just before I get time to edit the video, here's the clip. And I prefaced it for you, and it's nice, hot and ready like Little Caesar's Pizza. And you guys will be able to find that on my Twitter. Make sure you follow me at Boxingego on Twitter. I'm the best in boxing history in this business. This is easy. But Canelo Alvarez was asked directly, hey, Triple G wants it. You know what? Let me play some of it out for you.
I think a lot of people are wondering why you did not want to fight Gennady Golovkin in September.
Why you did not want to fight Golovkin?
Fought on the 14th. Why you did not want to fight Gennady Golovkin in September?
Okay.
Why you did not want to fight Gennady Golovkin in September?
So
why you did not want to?
The reporters in Canelo's face saying a lot of people have questions. You've publicly said you don't want to fight Triple G anymore a third time. Why? And he's looking at Canelo. He's a DAZN reporter, and he's asking Canelo this.
A lot of people are wondering why you did not want to fight Gennady Golovkin in September. It was a fight you could have fought on the 14th then.
You could have fought on the 14th.
DAZN wanted it.
DAZN, the network we're on right now doing this interview, wanted to fight. Okay.
It was a fight you could have fought on the 14th then. DAZN wanted it. Your promoter brought it to you. Why did you not want to face Golovkin?
Porque no tiene nada que ofrecer.
Boom. There's your boy Canelo. He says, because Golovkin, he has nothing to offer me. I already beat him twice. Diva in the flesh. These are diva moves. In 2019, he said Triple G, he has nothing to offer me. So I already beat him twice, which is cap, because some people even have it the other way and had Triple G winning both fights. I thought he won the second fight. I thought Triple G won the first fight. So me, I'm fair. I'm split. I was at the first fight. I thought the first fight he lost and Triple G should have won. And the second fight, I thought Canelo handily beat Triple G. So I have no problem with that. But he's claiming he beat him twice. And he said that Triple G has nothing to offer. Ironically enough, fast forward to the future, as I say in my tweet, I said, let me just end this. Canelo was asked why he didn't want a trilogy fight with Golovkin in 2019. When his promoter, DAZN Network, and Triple G wanted it. Canelo replied, quote, Triple G has nothing to offer. So what has changed? Because Triple G is now 40 years old, or he will be by the time they fight in September, if all goes well for both of their upcoming fights. I think he lost to Derevyanchenko, and he had 0 fights last year in 2021. Hashtag diva. So again, he's saying Triple G has nothing to offer me. Fast forward to the future, this is exactly what Canelo Alvarez is saying to guys like Charlo and guys like David Benavidez. He's saying, oh, these guys have nothing to offer me. You don't have belts. I fought all champions for the belts. Yeah, but you did it in a division where you could clearly go after certain styles of fighters, all with light or fair pigment. We'll just leave it at that, right? And then now there's fights that fans want to see, including myself, including Antonio Margarito, including guys like Floyd Mayweather, which I'll try to include in this video. Floyd said, you know, just like Winky said, we want to see Canelo versus David Benavidez. So why are all these like famous boxers, from Floyd Mayweather to Winky Wright to you know, Antonio Margarito at this point, as I stated with his quote, why is everyone saying they want to see David Benavidez? David Benavidez's father wants to see the fight. David Benavidez is calling for the fight. And he called, and see, this is the thing. People keep saying, oh, these guys got to build their own legacy. Listen, David Benavidez called out Charlo. He called out Caleb Plant. He said he's down to fight Canelo. So people are acting like Charlo or David Benavidez or anybody is sitting around waiting for a Canelo phone call. They're going on with their careers. They're not just sitting there hoping to get picked. You know, they are fighting. But of course, why wouldn't they want to fight a guy with the name and a guy who they can generate a big event with and a guy that can challenge? You know, this is boxing. People are starting to act like airheads in the sport of boxing. Canelo just became undisputed, and he said it was the greatest year of his boxing career. He has all the belts at 168. He's leaving the division, so no one can access those belts because, you know, the sanctioning bodies aren't going to strip Canelo, you know? So he's holding all the belts, and then he's crying, asking people, oh, why does everyone want to fight me? Bro, you have all the belts. Release all the belts. Listen, you have my word. If Canelo says I'm fighting Bivol, I'm giving up all the belts, I wouldn't even probably be on this, because at least boxing would be free. But what Canelo is doing is bad for boxing because you are stagnating a division and you're holding up. You're undisputed, so no one can become a champion in said division, super middleweight, until you decide to come back, or if you want to come back. And then when you come back, you want to fight another guy, Triple G, who's 40, who's regressing, who you didn't want to fight in 2019. And now all of a sudden you say, oh, he's been talking ish. Okay, he was talking ish then, and you said you didn't want to fight him because he has nothing to offer. Now the in prime guys, Charlos and the Benavidez that have been calling you out, those are the new fan-friendly fights. And now you're saying they don't deserve you and they have nothing to offer you. I mean, this is ridiculous. And real boxing fans, stand up. I don't care about nothing else. If you're not a real boxing fan, I don't care. I don't talk to me. I don't care about your comment, nothing, right? Why is Canelo's own countryman, Antonio Margarito, along with legends like Floyd and Winky Wright, they're all calling for the same fight. Fights like David Benavidez specifically, but also Charlo. So I have so many different ways to slice and dice this Canelo argument. So I'm going to have to break it up into a few more videos, but I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too much information. It doesn't make sense. And you guys know that. And these videos will keep coming. And, you know, it's why? Just answer this question. How come guys who risk their life in the ring, Antonio Margarito, and see, this is the thing. I didn't even want to get into, I didn't want to do this, but y'all made me. I didn't want to get into the fact that Antonio Margarito has the case with Cotto. A lot of people think he's a cheater because I see the comment section and people are like, oh, this man's a cheater. Bro, Canelo failed a drug test too. So if we're going to say he cheated for the hands of plaster, I have no problem with that. But at the same time, Canelo does have smut on his rep too with the failed clenbuterol test. Even though he explained it away or he says he has, you know, a valid reason, we have to just take his word for it. But the reality is he failed too, and not everyone believes him. So, you know, the saying goes, you shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house. Like me, I don't do any drugs, never have. So at the end of the day, I could talk about anybody and, you know, tis, shame on you when it comes to drugs, because I've never abused my body with any drug. So, you know, I'm definitely neutral in that category. So I just seen people who they didn't like what Antonio Margarito said, so they were trying to deflect from what he said and calling him a cheater and stuff. But at the end of the day, Canelo failed a drug test too. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. And you could look it up and when it happened in between Triple G 1 and 2 fight. Furthermore, you got to ask yourself these questions. Why are all these fighters saying they want to see the David Benavidez fight, and Canelo's telling them to go fight each other? So Margarito is a fan. He showed up to the Chocolatito fight in San Diego. Floyd Mayweather, he got money. He's saying he wants to see him fight he wants to see Canelo fight Benavidez, and he thinks he's ducking. He thinks Canelo's ducking Benavidez, right? So obviously there's a market for it because fans are telling you they want to see it. So that means they're willing to pay. And probably one of the most simpleton things that I'm seeing from Canelo fans at this current moment is this whole argument that Bivol is so superior to David Benavidez and Charlo, and Canelo is fighting the tougher fight. We don't know. Styles make fights. You can say a guy could be good, but another guy can have that style mastered and struggle with somebody else that you don't think is as good. Like, for example, look at Teofimo. See, y'all not gonna do this to me because I know boxing. Okay, that's why triangle theories don't work. Look at Teofimo. In 2 fights, Teofimo beat the consensus best guy he's ever fought, Vasyl Lomachenko, but then got bloodied up and beaten by a guy coming off of split decision narrow wins, where a lot of people thought he lost those fights, and that was George Kambosos, who had come off the Lee Selby and Mick Bay fights. So that goes to show you right then and there that these triangle theories don't work. Just because you believe Bivol is way better, styles make fights. Lomachenko, everybody in the world said, oh, he got 2 gold medals. He's way better. He's the best. You know, some people said he was the best at the time at light heavy or lightweight, right? So why did Teo beat him only to lose in his first title defense, his very next fight, to somebody that was an upset, was considered an upset? So we don't know that Bivol is so much greater, because Bivol's currently sparring with David Benavidez. Why he sparring with him if Benavidez is so weak? I'm a destroy y'all. Stay tuned to the channel. I promise I'm coming for that action all 2022. If you don't like it, don't watch the channel. It don't matter to me, but I'm coming. I'm coming with nonstop heat on the channel. You know this doesn't make sense. Shout out to Antonio Margarito. You know, we on the same page. He said the same things that I've been telling you. David Benavidez, that's a great fight. People want to see it. Canelo went another direction. And, you know, now his whole event is under fire based on what's going on in the world. And Netflix, they just pulled out because of the whole Russia invasion. You know, I could pull this. Listen, this is an unpack. I only got one hand, so you got to pardon the typing. Right? This is all current stuff, right? Netflix, Disney, Warner Brothers, Sony pull out of Russia amidst their war with Ukraine. So it's getting real hot in the kitchen. It's getting real serious. And big companies are pulling out. TikTok is restricting service in Russia. Netflix is not streaming in Russia because of this invasion. And guess what? Canelo is fighting a Russian fighter. And it's just, the timing is bad. They're saying that Russian Bivol, and he's not able to come out to his national anthem, of course. And they said he's not going to be able, during this climactic time, right? He's not going to be able to don his flag. So this is the event that Canelo and Eddie Hearn want to put on, and DAZN. And DAZN, their front person is also Russian. You know, the guy with all the money. You know, so it's just bad timing for the fight. All this could have been avoided by fighting David Benavidez, which clearly people want to see. But Canelo wants to pawn Charlo and Benavidez off on each other. That's what goes to show me he don't want those fights, because fans are saying Bivol's much tougher. Then why would you want to fight one smaller, much tougher guy, right? Instead of robbing the bank twice by whooping easy work Charlo and easy work David Benavidez, if you truly felt that those were the easier fights like the fans are saying. Checkmate. We unpack. Coming to you live. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.